Episode 9. We're back. Here we go. I'm super
Yes.
excited for this one, you guys. As always, I'm your DM, Amy, and I'm here with DK
Hello.
and Lucas
Hello.
and Victoria
Hi.
and Michael
Hello.
and Alex
Howdy.
and our very special guest and friend, Leah.
Yay.
Say hi. Podcasters can't hear you when you wave.
Hello, hello.
Perfect. All right, friends. Here we go. Let's jump in. The last time we were all here together, you all had freed the unicorn Eladon from his stasis as a rocking horse for Granny Nightshade and questioned him about various things that you had found in various locations you had been before parting ways with him as he made his way back to Lamorna at the Wayward Pool. You all search the outskirts of Loomlurch, where Echo found some very interesting treats and tricks left over in the goblin market before you met back up with Squirt the Oil Can, who led you through the impenetrable wall of fog into the land of Yon. You all touched down on a mountainous rocky outcrop bridge and made your way to the mountain where Echo and Ree were overcome with their desire for their objects, knowing that they were somewhere here in this land. You followed the path through the mountainous, darky, rocky landscape filled with wind and lightning before eventually you found a very interesting chair carved into the mountain itself, where Echo decided to have a seat on them and completely unraveled, astrally traveling through space to stare at a cold and dying star, returning an hour later with a fragment of Mazakot's psyche, which has left a little bit of moon glow behind in their eyes. You all met Amador, the walking, talking dandelion, and Gleam, a figure wearing a moon-shaped mask, when you followed them to their cave where they offered you the opportunity to be free of the wind and the lightning. The next morning, you all searched ahead and scouted up to the base of the ominous castle before deciding to maybe get some more info before going charging into this castle. You returned to the crater lake that had a torch-bearing figure that was being harassed by these massive antlered bird-like creatures, where you struck a deal with them where they would allow Alagarthas to complete his mission and transport home if you entertain them with a play. You all have regathered with Amador and Alagarthas and Gleam and Pollinella, the giant bumblebee, and you are currently making your way back to the cave that you were temporarily calling home. And that's where we'll pick up. What would you like to do, my friends?
Play should be about the protagonist accepting the mission and then finishing the mission without accepting another mission.
I mean, I think getting the key to good theater, doing what you know, and I don't know that we know how to do that.
I mean, there are several stories from the Church of El Mater that fit some of that. Since, yes, obviously we personally do not know how to just do one mission and be done. But there are some that we could adapt. We could take something from the 15 Torments of St. Iswald the Scourged, or maybe something from the Long Life and Longer Death of Arch-Sufferer Torva of Midnarth. Would definitely want to trim something down, though, because the plays that we do in the church are meant to be like feats of endurance and practice for making your way through suffering for both the performers and the audience. So we probably would want to trim that down a little bit.
Well, I think I could do that. if you would give me the opportunity.
I don't know what it is, Indai, but there is something that seems just a touch more mature about you these days. And so, yes, happily. I think if we were to pick one, I might go with the maybe the fivefold flogging, which is the shortest of Saint Iswald's 15 torments. It's the 11th one. This is one where Iswald, as he goes through, and unfortunately, Echo, he does keep picking up missions, but he does them at least one at a time. Doesn't keep picking up additional missions along the way. It's always one and then the next.
Yes, ideal.
And his 11th involves coming to the aid of a goblin village that has been oppressed by a sorcerer named Sivarax the Greedy, who has been compelling these goblins to make weapons. There's a whole backstory, there's a whole other war arc going on. Sivarax is selling to both sides of the war. He needs weapons to sell. Bottom line, he's got this village oppressed. Iswald comes and is able to, with a bit of his own work, free the goblin leader from Sivarax's coercion curse. And the two of them come up with a plan where Iswald goes and distracts Sivarax. He is tortured by Sivarax and his kind of flunky, Living the Cruel. The name of the story, the fivefold flogging, is because they keep hitting him with what's called a quint stick, which is something where when you get hit with it, it feels like being hit 5 times. Hence fivefold flogging. So Iswald goes and he endures this long enough for Greytooth to go and free all the other goblins, and they all escape. Once that's done, then Ilmater, of course, temporarily gives Iswald a whole bunch of additional power, just very briefly, just some additional strength to finally overpower and defeat Sivarax once and for all. This probably gives you a good sense for what a lot of the stories that we have in the church are like. It's many variations on this particular theme.
I think Juniper should play Ilmater.
I agree. I agree completely. Juniper can have whatever.
Unconventional casting choice, but
they are the most heavenly of us, that's for sure. But Amrik, how much filler is involved in these plays if that description you gave us is like, didn't you say they were like days long sometimes? How in the world did they come up with that much filler?
Well, remember this is one of the 15 torments, and so we would do all 15 one after the other. This one is one of the short ones, but even with that, usually there would be like you could spend a full like half hour on just watching Iswald get hit. And so you'd do the first strike, and then you'd have some way of like showing each of the like echo strikes from the quint stick, that feels like he's getting hit 5 times. Usually with pauses for like lengthy asides to the audience reflecting on the amount of pain and suffering that's being endured. You might have maybe like an extended lamentation from Greytooth, talking about all of the suffering that the goblins have had to endure as part of like talking to Iswald about how important it is to be helped, things like that. But in general, you spend a lot of time thinking about the amount of pain and suffering that people are going through.
Well, imagine this. if you will. We can just take it down to just the very simple steps of what happens with Iswald and where he goes and what he does. And we don't have to go into 30-minute long beatings or anything like that. That seems a little extra. Um, so
Plus, I don't think their bird brains would have the attention span to be entertained for anything much longer than that anyway.
So they do
well,
seem to have a cruel sense of humor.
True. That is true.
I think it's a brave story. So let's do it. Who do you want to be?
Absolutely.
I will do whatever we need me to do.
All right. So
I mean, I've already got the costume for Iswald more or less, so that would seem an obvious choice, but I don't need to force myself into that role.
okay, you're Iswald.
All
Juniper
right.
is Ilmater. Yes.
Yes.
Amador pops up and he goes, hey, I really want to play the swordsman. If whoever is hitting this Iswald, that would be a lot of fun for me, yes?
Then oh, you would make such a beautiful character of Livim. Livid?
Livim the Cruel. Yes.
Livim the Cruel.
Lieben, yes, I can do this.
Okay. Do you have a stick?
I have a sword. He pulls it out. A sword that could
okay.
defeat any of you.
As long as you can you turn it over and bludgeon with a sword instead of
No, that's not how a sword works. You don't hold it by the pointy end. You put the pointy end into the other person.
All right. Well, then well, we need a stick. You have to have a stick. It can't be a sword.
Good luck finding a stick around here, friend. You'd be easier to find an iron than make your own sword with it.
It just so happens that I have a stick, and I'll like start digging in my bag, and I will pull out.
How do you just randomly have a stick?
I have all kinds of things in this bag. Just a minute.
Sticks are very, they come in handy for lots of different situations we've found.
We've made it pretty far without any sticks here, so maybe
But
they
how do
come
you-
in handy where you're from.
How do you test your portals?
I don't really come across any random portals.
So
Oh.
I just
Weird.
finished looking in my bag, which doesn't actually take very long. I realized, and I don't have a
Because
stick,
it doesn't
but
work that way.
I do have a robe of useful items, and I'll just like pull one of the strings on the robe, and immediately I will pull up a 10-foot pole.
That
off
is a
of
very
it.
large stick, my friend.
Just pull it out and just keep going, and then hand it over to our friend.
Yeah, I think
Wow,
Dash
this
was
is,
like slowly pulling out his quarterstaff, and then sees you going through all that, and he's like, he's got it.
Don't worry, Dash, you can have it when we're done.
Echo,
I know this
as
stick
you
is bigger
are
than yours.
as you are kind of trailing behind this little group of wahoos, making sure nothing is being set upon them, there is a little smattering of pebbles that come falling off the cliff next to you, the kind of the sharp mountainside. It's like a little mini avalanche of pebbles that just kind of and fall down across your path.
I will immediately draw my bow and look in that direction.
Make a perception check for me, please.
First roll.
First roll of the game. Woo, woo, woo.
Oh, I now have two favored terrains.
Oh,
One is forest and the other is mountains.
mountains. Very nice. You are definitely in the mountains. Make a roll with advantage.
Good. Yeah, that's 24.
24. Okay. Looking upwards at the peak from where this little cascade of pebbles has come down in front of your path, you can see what looks to be just the point of a boot kind of hanging over the edge.
We may have an enemy above us.
I will immediately fall into the shadows.
Okay. You can make a stealth check for me. What are the rest of you doing?
How high is the the
Mm,
ledge up above?
maybe 25, 30 feet.
Nat 20.
Not 20. You feel very well hidden.
Yeah. I think Dash is just gonna post up next to Echo and keep an eye on things.
Once it's pointed out to you, you can see that same little boot toe just barely hanging over the edge.
Shall I aim for the boot?
Um,
Try
maybe we
conversation first.
It's up to y'all.
I'm not questioning orders, but are we sure?
yeah,
What are we doing?
Amric's probably right. We should not be violent, I guess.
We're not sure if they're our enemy yet, so let's not make them our enemy by shooting them with a very strong bow and arrow.
How large is this boot?
You can't tell from where you currently are. It's just barely the little toe, just barely a toe poking over the edge.
Well, is someone going to speak with them
I want ice cream.
or throw something?
So I do have my shield out and my warhammer at the ready, and I'm also going to call, "Hello up there."
There is no response to your call.
We could throw a rock.
Yeah, or a stick. Probably not our probably not our 10-foot stick. That's we should keep that.
I'm still hiding in the shadows. I'm not
Yes, you are.
participating.
I look around for Endai. I cannot find him.
Endai has
I-
disappeared. Again. It's like he just popped up and then he's gone again.
I think I'm gonna just burn a key point to step of the wind and see if I can run up the hillside. See if I can climb my way up there right
Excellent.
quick.
Yes, a gust of wind builds up under your feet and kind of cushions you all the way up to the top of the cliff face, where you find the unconscious form of a gnome. Finn, would you like to describe what Dash sees?
So, Fen is a forest gnome. They're about 4'6", 4'8". They have dark brown, coppery skin. He's wearing lots of homespun wool leggings bound with fabric around the legs and arms. a dirty dark red cloak, and a quarterstaff. There's a sword tied around his hip. He has dreadlocks that are tied back. They're very dark black hair with some gold blonde at the end. And you see gold tattoos across the bridge of his nose. That's all you'd see while he's unconscious.
He is knocked out.
Okay. I think Dash would immediately like just try to do the whole, hey, are you okay? Hello? And then, kind of make a medicine check or something to see if he's can find a pulse or anything of that nature.
Sure. You don't need to make a medicine check. After a moment of kind of like gentle shaking and nudging, the form comes to consciousness.
Starvanish. Where am I? Who are you?
I'm Dash. And you seem to have been brought unconscious. My friends and I just happened to notice your foot. Do you know where you are? What happened to you?
It was an oil can. I followed an oil can. Oh God. I followed the oil can. Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, we're in Yon. We also followed an oil can to get here.
It's coming back to me. Yeah. You're one of them, aren't you?
One of them who?
The ones that I've been following.
I mean, it's very possible. I mean, we haven't exactly carved a silent path across the country.
And Fen is going to reach a hand across. Pleasure to meet you. The name's Fen.
Ben, it's a pleasure to meet you as well. He'd shake your hand, and then, would you like to get up?
I would.
And Dash would help you up. Now, is there any way to get off of this cliff that doesn't require us jumping down? Do we see any different slopes in the area? Or
You can make an investigation check.
no, I can't.
Are the others with you?
Yes, they're just they're just right over the edge of the bank, down on the road.
And you can
I
see
got a
them all
17.
except for the tiefling.
When I recognize that, Finn will grin broadly and leap down, doing the monk thing that monks can do.
Boing, boing, boing,
That's
boing.
called I'm gonna make my way down, bounding gleefully.
Yes.
But Dash will see that and he'll be like, and then he'll start jumping down.
You can both make an athletics and or acrobatics check, not and, just or. Athletics or acrobatics.
Sounds like an advantage to me.
Wow.
It's not, because they're each doing it.
Yeah, and that's a nat 1 for me.
Oh.
That's an 8 for me.
Oh, why do you guys
It was
suck?
an 8.
I didn't think I was
it was
gonna
an 8
need
for me
my
as well,
dice.
but unfortunately that's a 1.
One is a 1 is a 1. Oh man. And here I was like, I'm not gonna get my dice out.
Can I see them?
It's
Can I
just
see
too
them jumping
Dash was
down?
just too excited and wasn't paying attention to what he was doing.
You were both a little too excited and in your over eagerness to come down off of this cliff face. Dash, you just tumble head over ass all the way down, and you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage, slamming into the ground. Finn, you take 2 as you kind of sprain your ankle on landing. It wasn't your most graceful moment, but it's definitely pretty cool by comparison to the one that just tumbled all the way down.
Yeah. Fun, being slightly embarrassed to make such a landing, will brush himself off. Ah, fucking hell, shit. He's brushing himself off, trying to straighten themselves. It's you. It's great to finally meet you.
Echo's gonna swing their bow around. I'm gonna look at them. Enemy or ally?
Oh, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Ally, definitely ally.
I will just appear behind Finn.
Out of nowhere, this looming figure.
Do I see them behind me?
Not for a moment, but then you feel their presence and you can kind of look up and see them looming over you.
Fun will jump back and fucking hell. Where'd you come from?
No one will know. And then I'll just jump back in the shadows again.
They can see you now.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'm gonna put my warhammer away and start walking towards Dash. As I do, I'm gonna offer a hand to Fen. I apologize for our lack of hospitality. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure. Shake your hand.
As we shake, I'm gonna try to do like a really smooth lay on hands pool just during the handshake, just to knock up those 2 hit points.
Feel a warmth radiate from this dwarf's hand and spread into your center.
Thank you.
I'm gonna run over to Dash and see if I can help him.
Who the fuck are you?
I was on my way to Dash.
I'm Inday.
Where's your floppies?
Hey. Back here
Oh,
now.
that's smooth. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thanks. You all right?
No, I'm in agony.
I will
But before you burn
I
any
got
inventory on
3
these,
potions left.
I have been walking over. I'm gonna like put up a hand to try to encourage you to not to spend any sort of like actual like material thing on this. If you would like to, you're more than welcome to do something else. But otherwise, I was just gonna help out here.
Fine. I'll just sleek back in the shadows again.
Everyone can see you now. You have revealed yourself.
Omrit,
All right, I'm gonna offer Dash a hand up.
the pain. It's too great.
Heavy sigh from Echo, still pointing the arrow at Fen and looking at Ree. We have not confirmed ally.
Right, Echo. I'm sorry, Fen. Did you say you were a fan of ours?
Oh, aye.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I've been following your exploits. You, as you said, haven't exactly moved quietly across the country.
True. You've been how have you been following our exploits? You've been following us?
Well, it was more of a coincidence, really. I'm a bit of a scholar, you could say, and I've been sent by my order to try to find out what's causing this plague. And on my journey, we seem to have crossed paths, or rather, I came across yours.
Another heavy sigh from Echo.
You don't like to be detected.
A scholar, you say, from an order. What order?
We're just we order up north. The Amy, what's the land called again?
The Finn is also from Taros, but
Thank you.
the rest of you kind of, you know what? You can all make history check for me. Whoever's got proficiency can make it with advantage.
Oh, I think I have proficiency.
Oh,
I'd be surprised
fancy.
if I didn't.
It's a 12 for me.
12.
Oh
I
no.
thought I had proficiency, but I don't. I
Well,
got
of
a
course-
17.
15.
Of course, in the screenshots I took, my history is blocked. That's the one thing that's blocked. So give me just a second.
It's
I got a
okay.
16.
I do have
16.
I do have history advantage. Okay. That one is wrong.
Amrik, what was yours?
19.
19. Very good.
Mine is also a 19.
19. Beautiful. Well, you guys all would know this is kind of common world history at this point, that like the original like home of the gnomish race is it's in the far north of Taros, up in the mountains, which I'd have to look the map at to tell you the name of the mountains. But the gnomes kind of settled in the mountains and around the mountains. So being from Taros makes sense. Even though things are much more of a melting pot now, you do find a large percentage of gnomes still come from that kind of far northern cold region of Taros. That was after the shattering. That's where the gnomes landed. History. Yeah, it's very, very known history. Anybody who got like my 19s up there, you guys would know that it's unusual. It's unusual to see like a kind of collection of gnomes, because gnomes work on kind of like a tribalist type of vibe. They don't work together very often unless it's like one of their clans. And there aren't like a great number of clans that still kind of maintain this. Gnomes tend to be a little more solitary and don't tend to like form large groups of anything. So to hear of a large collection, in fact, of gnomes who are working together, especially with people who are not gnomes, is very interesting. Especially to you, Bree. You'd find that quite interesting.
Okay, cool. Fascinating. I haven't heard of any scholarly orders of gnomes before. There's obviously individual scholars of notes and really great historians, authors, but I've never heard of a group. The shared collective knowledge must be incredible. And what had you interested in something non-gnome?
Why are you following us?
Oh, yeah, also.
Which of your questions should I answer first?
Probably echoes.
All right.
I am the one holding the bow.
Echo, the name's Fan Garrick, Fan if you like.
you're
We
nasty.
there's a if you're nasty. The we've heard tell of this corruption and it's affecting us. We just have a wee library. Some ancient knowledge, but there's some gaps and we can't account for the corruption. I know of Natasha, and I know you've been in pursuit of her as well. And my job was to be sent here in pursuit of understanding this corruption. And from what I understand of your own exploits, you're also trying to understand what's the source of this corruption and hopefully try to end it.
Was that on the list? Asking Ree.
Oh, yeah, it's specifically on the list, but I think everything kind of ties into the, corruption, the
We have an
successor-
implicit mission in addition to our other missions.
Yes, I think
Another
so.
heavy sigh.
If it makes you feel better, I can add the implicit mission to the list so it can be explicit.
I believe the current mission should be to get this place so we can recover our items.
Yeah, yes, that's true. Well, Fen, it seems that now that even though you've been following, now that our paths have crossed, we would love to have you join us. I look around at everyone.
I'll walk up. I'll walk up to Finn and say, "It looks like we have our Goblin Town's patrons."
What
How
I-
are your acting skills, Fen?
Acting skills. Fuck you on about?
Well, I have taken the liberty to write a play, and I think that you would do very well as a what's the word? As a stand-in.
Standing. Traveled all this fucking way, and he's gonna reach into his cloak, pull out a flask, look upward. Fuck's sake. Put it in his pocket.
Amador is gonna pop up and be like, all right, this is great and all. Hi, Fen, I'm Amador. This is Gleam. That's some prince guy. It's really cold. I don't like the wind. The lightning kind of freaks me out. Can we go to the cave and discuss more there? Because I'm very uncomfortable.
Yes, let's go to the cave, and
Great.
I'll just start walking.
Hey, no, you don't get to lead. It's my cave. I get the lead anyway. So
I like keep jumping in front of him just a little bit more at a time.
I'm going
like
to finally stop pointing my bow at Fen, but I'm going to make sure Juniper and I are behind him as we're walking.
Juniper kind of looks up at you and then looks at the back of Finn and just goes,
That's slow. Can I eat?
yes.
Not
Can I eat
yet.
it? Sort of mouth opening in Finn's general direction.
Would I notice that? Would I perceive that?
No.
I'll yell back and be like, anybody got any candy that Finn can have?
You weren't there. You don't know.
No, there's a question.
I don't think anyone knows except for Echo.
I'll look at Juniper and just quick shake of the head with a
She
shrug. Maybe later.
She gives you, oh, falls in line behind you.
I'm gonna top dash up on health. Again, like trying to like do like this look like offer a hand to help pull him up. And if he takes it, then I'll do the like lay on hands pull that way. Just trying to get a little bit less.
You see him when you reach down and you're looking at him. Yeah, he rolls over on his side a little bit, and you just see that like his right calf is just cramped up so incredibly intensely, and it's not letting go. And it looks almost like the rock that he's in the spirit of. Like it's just this tight, well athletic calf just totally just twisted on itself.
Ugh.
Oh.
And then
Made
as
me
soon,
wince a
as
little
soon
bit.
as you do the lay on hands, like it just relaxes and he just kind of goes, oh, thank you, Albert.
Anytime.
Come on, Dash, let's go.
Dash gets up and follows.
All right. You all make your way back to Amador's cave, which is very dark inside since you all have been gone all day and the fire has gone down just to coal and ash. And Amador walks in and he goes straight to the fire ring and begins making up another fire. And he goes, oh, yes, this is much better. Don't you agree? Get out of Get out of the wind. The lightning freaks me out.
If you don't mind, what are you making the fire with if you don't have any sticks?
In case you noticed, there's a lot of magic everywhere. I can just go like this, and he like flicks his little leaf dome, and it just like bursts into flame. He holds it up under the pot.
Magic.
It's pretty great stuff. I don't know a whole lot of it, but can do some basic stuff.
Well,
Are you hungry?
I'll say I'll show you some magic later on.
Yeah, I've seen lots of magic just running around with you wild and crazy guys.
All right.
I'm very hungry. Are you hungry?
I'm starving. Also, Juniper is looking a little peakish. Peakish.
Finn, Juniper has just come up and next to you and is... Oh, we may have lost Leah. Looks like she's frozen. There she is. Juniper has come up
What?
to you as you are sitting by the fire and is just kind of sniffing at your hair. And your hair moves a little bit.
I'm gonna
Each inhale.
reach up and let Juniper sniff my hand, and then if they let me, scratch behind their ears.
It gives you a big lick up the side of your face. It's now covered
Oh,
in
God. Ugh. Thanks.
She just kind of like leans all of her weight on you to like scoot you out of her way and then settles down.
I'm going to stay near the entrance to the cave just to keep a moderate watch as I'm listening to everyone else.
Amador goes about his business puttering around, making some delicious mushroom-based food.
I'm going to join Amador in his cooking, if I can.
Yeah, you come up to him and he's, oh, hey, friend. How are you doing? It's
I'm
not
doing
ready
great.
yet. Give me about 15 minutes. I'll have it ready.
Oh no, I wanted to see if I could help.
Do you know how to cook?
I can learn.
Can you? Usually think cooking is a very long form lesson. That's not something you pick up in just like a couple of lessons. It's something you must dedicate your life to for years.
Try me. What kind of prep do you need?
Here, well, I mean, if you want to learn a little something, and he launches into like the proper way to dice the mushrooms in order to maximize flavor and make it go around enough, and like the correct way to boil the stock, like what all to add to it to increase the flavor. And he's like telling you where you can find these ingredients, and he just launches into a nice little cooking lesson while he is preparing your food. What else?
I'll start grabbing some of his mushrooms and pull my dagger out and start.
Oh, hey, you want to clean that first. What is all over that thing? Do not clean your blades.
No, it's fine. It's just a little dirt.
No, it's not just a little dirt. You need to clean that off. It's very dangerous.
And I'll pick it up and I'll
You have
blow
to
on it.
sanitize. No, oh God. Okay. Sounds like real life. What would the rest of you like to do?
So, what's all this about play? You're asking me about my acting. What? Why?
Well, we are doing a play because this guy over here is kind of trapped, and we have these bird people who are also theater people, but apparently now we have to put on a play to get him free so we can find the theater and so we can win against the hag.
Good job, Echo.
Yes.
All right.
Synced his eyes.
I suppose that makes sense.
You don't
It's
really,
And
you don't really have to do anything. You just need to be a goblin.
I just need to be a goblin. Ah,
Yeah.
Pretend
And-
to be a goblin.
how exactly does that help you?
It's a
No.
it's a process.
if the birds stop bothering
Oh, it froze on
Alagarthas,
me.
then Alagarthas can go home. And if Alagarthas can go home, he's going to give us a map to the Hags Theater so that we can get in and get our things.
Is she a fan of theaters?
I think so. Yes, everything seems to point to that.
Take out my notebook and make a note.
He has a notebook, Ree.
I I literally because I'm so much taller than him, I like start to lean over and look into it, and then I'm like, oh, I am so sorry.
And hide it a little. Ask first, eh?
It's just it's very nice to see somebody else who likes notes and books and is a scholar. I'm very interested to learn more about what's going on with the corruption in your library.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna tuck it away in me cloak.
Can I have caught anything in there if he's being so secretive about it?
Make a perception check
Okay.
versus Finn's your
Sleight of hand?
Sleight of hand? Yeah. Sleight of hand.
15 plus what's my perception?
Not 20
Okay, well,
for 23.
if I can get my gosh darn things open. It's not going to be a 23, I don't think.
Meanwhile, first PvP
yeah,
roll of the
18.
campaign.
What was that? I'm sorry.
Meanwhile, first PvP roll of the campaign.
Oh, I believe so.
Ooh.
8 episodes. Well,
Cool.
8 official episodes in a year in IRL.
That's
First
true.
PvP roll. Nope. They're a little too fast for you.
All right. I just make a mental note about how secretive he's being about everything that's happening.
You're
About
assuming.
everything that's happening.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna take Juniper's hat and get her a little snack.
Beautiful. Roll a d6.
That's a 1.
All right, a little rat comes scurrying out, and Juniper very quickly chomps down on it. Doesn't even like chew, just throws her head back and swallows. And looks at you, and her tongue lolls out the side of her mouth.
Good job. Okay, now we are preparing you for your big role.
Yes.
Just going to explain things about acting. Nico doesn't know very much about acting. So just going into, so you are going to pretend to be saying you are not trying to trick people, but they know you're not that thing. But they're pretending to not know that you're not that thing.
Her
But
little
you
brow
just have to
furrows
look.
at you.
You just have to look radiant as always.
She like draws herself up to her full big height.
Sorry,
Perfect.
I
Holds her chin back.
Can you repeat that for me? I had
maybe
frozen.
Ree could like prestidigitate some kind of sparkles on Juniper
I was just about to say, I'll cast dancing lights and just kind of make like a little crown of light around Juniper's head, around the hat, of course.
Those are
There,
the
now,
dark.
now she is acting and she looks like a god.
Like cocks her head at you at that, and she like stands up on her back legs and holds her front paws together.
Hail,
Perfect.
Hail Mater.
I think she is ready.
Now we just have to get the rest of you ready. Oh, and I'll start bringing the food since I gave up on cooking because I got kicked out of the cooking. And I just start bringing food and like passing the food around all willy-nilly to everyone.
Oh, thank you, and I.
Much appreciated.
As much as the same from last night.
In terms of performance, I would really deeply prefer to not perform. However, I can help with special effects and just like what I just did with Juniper. Illusions is kind of my thing, and there's the whole section of the school about illusions for performance, though I've never taken any of those classes.
Okay.
That sounds like an excellent opportunity to practice that then.
Then I would say that sentence from Ree really catches your attention.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. It cut out a little bit for me. Can you repeat that?
Oh yeah. The portion about illusions, I think. I'll say illusions are kind of my thing, but I've never taken any of those classes at school. There's illusions for performance at the magic school. I just haven't done them yet.
School. Which school?
Which school?
Quartermain Academy.
Oh, just Quartermain Academy.
The school. Gotcha.
That is the biggest library in the world.
Right.
Cool. Yeah, it's pretty nice. I really like it there.
As we settle down to eat, I'm wondering, Indai and Ree, I'm thinking it might make sense for us to just touch base, spend some time going over Indai, your script, and then maybe actually getting it written out to share with others. Ree, if you can help with both maybe the writing, and then I don't know if you've got a way to help with the copying of what gets written so that everybody can like have something to refer to.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I can totally write it down. I can write 60 words per minute just with my hand.
Very impressive.
Awesome.
Very impressive.
I'll gather lots of loose papers and my I'll use a quill that isn't the red ink one.
Okay. You have to keep refilling it with ink. It's a real shame.
Unfortunate.
Okay. Tell me what the first step is here.
I'm thinking that this might be something that like the three of us spend some time kind of like huddled together working on as we kind of get a script hammered out, creating some time and space for others.
Okay,
Okay.
let's do it.
What would the other three of you like to be doing? Dash, Finn, Echo?
Go ahead.
I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck this play's about.
They're all just kind of huddled up at the moment, murmuring between themselves.
It'll be about suffering, I'm sure.
Suffering, sure. Because we
Yeah,
all
that's
need a bit
kind
more
of
daddy.
Omric's thing. Lots of suffering and suffering for other people. It's
Oh, fucking martyr.
yeah,
Just what we need, eh?
I do have to give him credit. He is our gonna look over at Dash. Moral compass.
Yeah, I think that's accurate.
All right. All right.
And he
Very
is a
good.
dwarf, after all.
Ah, fair. Fair play.
And he is also our sole source of healing. So
Disagree.
Disagree. Who's the
okay,
other?
he's our primary source of healing.
You're the other source of healing.
That is one function I can't perform.
Good
I
to
don't
know.
have a need to most of the time.
Okay. How'd you learn such skills then?
I was a soldier.
Uh, you didn't seem to like me asking you questions.
I am unused to casual conversation.
Not into small chat. Noted. I'll just turn back to myself and try to figure out what the hell the playwrights are getting at.
I think is there any spots around the cave where I would find like what I would call good quality mud?
I was muted. Not really any mud. No, everything is kind of
Or clay, you know.
like shaled kind of obsidian, if that makes sense. Like, you know how you see mica and it's been kind of shaved off and like really sheer sheets? That's kind of what everything is here, basically. You could probably find some if you could get through the stone floor.
Gotcha. And I wish I had taken those mold earth classes. That would have been
Amador's having his food and he goes, "This is really awkward. I like the three of you and like really crazy silence, and the three of you over there that won't shut up and won't share what you're doing. This is great. I'm really having a good time." Alagarthas is like, yeah, I'm glad that I came along. Super productive. Yeah.
You could go talk to them. It is your freedom, after all.
I mean, I've been doing this for a very long time. I have attempted to talk to them.
And yet you never were offered to have a play.
One-man show is much more difficult than a chorus, if you were.
I suggest you use your resources then.
And what resources would that be?
Aye, they're right.
Them?
Resources.
You guys are
And-
pretty much my resources at this point.
We could leave you and complete a different mission.
You could.
I think Dash hearing that he's like kind of does one of those. He's just gonna start. He's just gonna pull out his mason tools and just start like scratching at the ground, just kind of trying to see if he can find something workable, but really just
Echo
to
is
ignore
entirely
everything.
unfazed, not realizing that any of this is awkward. Just stating facts as they come.
Facts.
Just very used to silence, not used to interpreting social cues.
Yeah. I mean, in your estimation, these people never shut the fuck up. Really. As much as you're used to absolute silence and solo missions.
I'm gonna start batting around a pebble for Juniper to follow.
She starts off by just barely opening her eyes at you. And then you notice them starting to move to follow the pebble before eventually, like, you see her kind of crouch and her bum wiggles a little bit. Or she comes pouncing out at it and like starts batting it around the cave.
We should work on this together. We could go hunting. Coordinated.
She looks over at you and kind of like looks at you and then the pebble and then at you. And then she like bats the pebble over in your direction.
Gonna try to catch it.
You manage to catch it. And then she kind of sits and her tongue lolls out and she looks at you just.
Yeah, we'll figure this out.
So
Okay.
The being next to us, Silent Lot, is the animated dandelion creature.
Yep.
Uh,
A big, giant, sentient dandelion.
yeah. Would I have seen such a thing before?
No. And you're surprised at how cool everybody else is acting.
Yeah. And I'm trying to be pretty
These
cool. And that's
circumstances.
also like why I'm like drinking. Like, man, there's a lot of lead up to getting excited to be with these people. And I'm in a real weird situation. And I'm not really used to being in weird situations. And it shows. And I'm going to turn. And I'm going to start by trying to like stick out my hand. Like I'm going to shake it and introduce myself. I'm not sure. I'm going to shake a dandelion leaf. Is that appropriate? Not knowing what the leaf might, how long have you been stuck here?
The dandelion? He like kind of cocks his head at you and looks at you a little questioningly and then like sticks its leaf out and like shakes your little hand. Like, yes, Amador, we met earlier.
Wait, did we?
We did. Remember I said, hi, I'm Amador. This is Gleam. That's some prince guy. This is Pollinella. Let's go to the cave.
Yeah, sorry, it was a bit quick there.
Pretty sure that's exactly what they said. That was really good of me.
I see. Sorry, your memory's a lot better than mine. I didn't catch
Thank you.
the name.
Thanks.
That's
all right. Amidor. Oh. There we go. We got you back.
Amidor, yeah.
Amidor, this is Gleam. He gestures to like this elven woman who's wearing like these blue, purple kind of robes, and she's got like a big moon mask on, and she just kind of tilts her head at you and goes, and that's like Alagarthas, I guess. And they like gestures to this like very extremely handsome elf dude. He's got big long pointed ears. He's got like dark hair that's been kind of pulled back, a little 5 o'clock shadow stubble going on. He looks just absolutely wrecked and exhausted, and he's got like a couple of pieces of paper that he seems to be sketching on. He just kind of looks up at you and he gives you a little head nod and goes back to his little sketches and goes, this is Pollinella, and this little bumblebee like the size of like an orange comes buzzing over and lands on one of the leaves. Pollinella, Gleam, Prince Alagarthas, Amador.
Pleasure. Do you drink? And gesture to...
Yeah, I most definitely drink. Are you offering the whiskey? This is fantastic. I've had the whiskey in so long.
Only the best. And hand it over.
All right. He turns it up and absolutely holds it for like a good solid like 15-20 seconds until it is drained. Yes, that is very good. That's some of the good stuff.
Yeah, there's a wee bit left. So if anyone else needs some, you look like, and to
No,
the
they're fine. If you need somebody to finish it, I am happy to do that for you.
Oh, okay. Here
Takes
you
back from
go.
you and absolutely finish it. Yes, you're very good. You have suddenly become my new favorite amongst these weirdos.
How long have you all been here?
Me personally, I've been here a long time. I'm an original resident of Prismere. I worked for Zybilna.
And how long is that exactly? Give about
Uh, Kind of hard to say, really. Time is a little different here.
the lot of you. You all been together the whole time?
No, Gleam, she just came to me a few days ago. She escaped from Granny Nightshade, and her sister is still being held captive in Motherhorn. So we are here. We are attempting to break back in and free Glimmer from Endelyn Moongrave.
Hmm. And you really think this lot will help you do with this play?
I mean, they're as good as anybody else, I guess. They said
All
they
right.
defeated the other two members of the coven, so that has to say something for them.
So this play is the play the distraction.
Yes, the play is the thing.
The play's the thing. Is the play
You're
Christ
welcome.
almighty? Who? Hi.
No, so there's these really big birds, all right? And they were keeping Alagarthas from escaping. He's been there a really long time trying to get out. And there's like these beacons. And they has to go up the towers and light all the beacons. And that will show him the way home. However, the birds, they keep putting out the fires, so he cannot accomplish it. Apparently, they went and made a deal with these birds to where if they would entertain the birds, then the birds would let Alagarthas light all the lights so he can find his way home. So I guess they're going to do a play. I don't know. They haven't shared anything with me yet, but I get to hit
So,
somebody, so I'm here for it.
oh, sure.
That
Sure.
was Bree and Amrik. I suggested shooting them.
I mean, we could shoot them too if you really thought that was the way to go forward.
It was my main
So,
suggestion, but I follow
Very good
orders.
suggestion.
so like this needs
Orders
to be
from who?
I don't understand the question.
Why are they giving you orders? Can you not give yourself orders and then follow them? Or better yet, just not need any orders.
Just a long silence. One has to use one's judgment.
Exactly. So why don't you just your own judgment in following orders? And follow your own orders and your own judgment.
Because we're friends.
Friends don't give friends orders. They work together.
Yes, we do that.
So it is a collective decision.
I suppose it is.
I'm just saying, you are really something special, and you should not allow yourself to become lost in somebody else's orders.
My primary function is as a soldier.
Why is not your primary function just to exist?
Not why I was created.
Why were you created?
to shuttle messages between the joint factions in the Great War.
Are you still in service to this war?
Yes, I'm still trying to complete my mission. That is why I'm on this mission. I need to retrieve the cylinder so I can complete that mission.
Well, as long as you are happy with the direction that you are going.
I am also friends with the people for that mission.
Then I hope they will do their best for you, as you are doing your best for them.
Yes, that would be agreeable.
There are many things we are doing that are agreeable. For instance, you help me free Glimmer, and I help you find your thing so you may complete your mission. And then we're all going surfing.
Yes, you are going to teach me how to surf and how
I am.
to vacation.
I am. That is one of the missions.
Yes,
And
we have
honestly,
added
with
it
the
to the
way your
list.
group is going, it should be your #1 mission because you really could use a vacation.
Reed peeks her head up from writing for just a second and go, it's #1 on the list. It's so big.
Well, friend, just make sure you're doing this for you and not because other people tell you to.
I shall take that under advisement.
Very good. I also suggest we get some sleep. Maybe if your friends are done with their planning or whatnot, we can discuss what we're doing tomorrow.
They
So
tend to
that I
get
can get some
distracted.
sleep. I
We should
have
rouse
noticed.
them.
I
Yes.
have noticed this, yes.
Keeping them on
Let's-
mission is nigh impossible.
I can only imagine. You must have just quite a hard time trying to keep them on track. The little one, he seems all right, and the big armor, he seems okay. He seems pretty driven. The rest of them might have to pull them back in a time or two.
Ko's gonna do just a little bit of a smile. They're not frequently expressive face, just showing that little bit. Not admitting fondness, but
Everyone loves Amador. And he's gonna storm over to like Amrik and Marie and Inda, and he goes, "All right, it is getting late. We need to rehearse this play so that I can go to bed. What have you
Okay.
got for me? Who am I
Okay.
hitting?
You're you will be hitting Amrik.
Okay.
Iswald. Amrik is playing Iswald. You will
Pulls
be
out the
playing.
stick and like smacks you across the back with it.
Not yet, not yet.
Yes?
The
Oh, sorry.
the birds have to watch us do this. So we
I
have
mean,
to
that
wait.
seems pretty entertaining already.
We have to wait so that the birds can see it. Now,
Okay.
Finn will be Greytooth, who is going to play the goblin leader. Amrik will be Iswald. And then we need Ree, will you just take cues as we go tomorrow so that we can have the special effects that we need to get this done?
Sure, yeah. As I've been writing, I've been keeping notice in place where I can do different things. I think I have a good idea of what I can do.
Okay, Amrik, you're clearly the lead role for this. Are you okay with that?
Yes. The words are less familiar than I'm used to, so I might be a bit stilted, but yes.
Okay.
All right.
Dash,
Yo,
show me your
standing
best
there with chisel in hand.
narrator voice.
Narrator?
Okay, maybe I should narrate. Should I
What
narrate?
what are you asking me?
You have to have the voice.
The voice.
The voice.
Which voice would you like?
The narrator voice.
The narrator voice.
Ah, there we go. You are the
Okay.
narrator. You will be narrating this play. And I will play the evil Sivorax. Sivorax? Or
Does
Sivorax?
that mean I get to hit you too?
No.
The more hitting, the better, really.
No. Amric will defeat me with his with the power of Juniper. I'm looking at Ree's notes and like trying to read and
I whisper,
Ilmater.
Ilmater.
Meanwhile, I'm just nodding. Yes, the power of Juniper. Yes, yes.
Echo. I don't know what I have for you.
I have a suggestion.
Tell me.
While you are doing this play, I conceal myself from a distance in case something goes awry.
I like that. I like your plan. I like your
As long as you watch after Juniper.
Well, you're watching after all of us.
Constantly.
Echo. Thank you. And I'll just walk away.
Oh.
You're welcome.
I don't turn back. I just keep walking and then hide in the shadows.
All right, great. Are we going to go over this or are we going to sleep and then we're going to improv tomorrow? I am all about the improv.
Well, we'll go through the steps. There's the Iswald. In the first act, Iswald is going to free Greytooth from Sivorax's spell. That's the first one. So
As Endai walks through this, I'm gonna make sure that we get copies
I'm
of
Greytooth.
to Fen and Dash, as well as myself.
yeah. And Ree's
And
of
don't
course,
forget
has
Amidor,
the-
I need a script too. I am the very starring role, so you need to give me the script.
Ree, will you hand Live him
Sure.
the Cruel his script, please?
yes, working on it. I'm feverishly writing. Mage hand also writing on a paper. And then I go,
Nice.
here.
Fantastic.
Yes. I have ink smeared on my fingers and my face.
And then Dash, do you have the script for the narrator?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I like how it looks like you actually have a script.
And everyone can read. Yes, we've established this.
Yeah, yes. For the most part, that's fine.
We'll just nod. We'll just nod when you start swinging.
Great. That's fantastic.
I am. I haven't seen many plays. Do they actually hit people in plays, or don't they just act that part
Yes,
too?
they do. No, they actually hit people
Okay.
during plays. That's very
Yeah.
important part of the structure.
And,
It
and
just
in
seems
this case,
important.
given the origins of this play, it is actually appropriate for Amador to actually hit me.
Yeah, see,
that is
that's
in keeping
perfectly
with the traditions of the Church of Ilmater for these performances.
But gently,
absolutely.
gentle hits.
I'm afraid I don't know the meaning of that word, my friend. It does not
In any
translate.
armor that will help. It will be more dramatic for the audience.
After
I-
the first act
Right.
is the second act where Iswald and Greytooth plan how to distract Sivarax from the rest of the goblins so that they can be saved. That's where you come in, Finn.
Oh, sorry. I come in.
Yes,
Yes.
you're Greytooth. You're Greytooth.
Yes. I come in right there. Yes. Yes. All right. Okay. Uh-huh.
And then Iswald, you just have to plan with Greytooth that Greytooth has to convince you that you need to get beaten by Livim, and then that will be
That
the
is
plan
me?
so that Greytooth can rescue the rest of the Goblin Town. And then in the third act, Iswald will
Your 3 acts. That's
be
wow, that's a really long show.
will be beaten. And then the fourth act is where
4 acts. Jesus Christ.
fourth, yes, where
I'm familiar with that deity.
It's just the one we have here in Prismere. I don't think his worship has spread very far.
where Ilmater will bless Iswald with power and defeats
Okay.
Sivarax. The end.
Okay. All right.
Ree raises a hand. Are we doing intermissions in between the acts?
No.
Okay.
It'll last
The
a lot less
musical.
time, I think.
Is that some musical or is that just like a straight barn play?
Oh no, I hate musicals.
Looking scandalized at her. The nerve.
Do you remember the play Gangs of Ikoria?
Sorry.
Are you asking me?
I just about to spit my coffee out. Okay.
It'll be like that.
That was real close.
Sure. Epic, what'd you say? Yeah. Sure. Uh-huh. And the friend's just nodding along and flipping through his script and thinking, whispering to himself, how the fuck did I get roped into this?
All right,
This
everybody
is
got
the
it?
group you've been chasing.
Does everybody have it?
All of those crazy stories of might and magic and defeat and subterfuge and like this amazing heroes.
I've
These are them.
led to this.
And I'll just say, does everybody have it? And then I'll just, okay, good. And then I'll just walk away.
Did you wait
Where
for
does he think he's
confirmation,
going? This is like the smallest cave ever. It's not like it can get away from us.
Shadows.
Once again, he's pretending he's hidden.
We like
I
to
don't
let him.
understand that. I can see him
why
just
does he do
fine.
that? Why
I'm
does he
not
do
really
that?
sure. He's interesting. He's a very interesting character.
Aye.
Alagarthas is like, that's one word for it.
Actually, brings up a good point. Bree, do you know how to make? I know you got your dancing lights and everything, but do you know how to make darkness?
Hmm. No, I don't, unless I can do it through an illusion, and I don't know, I'll try to use minor illusion to make darkness, or like a shadow or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it
Works.
affects it's not complete darkness and it's not as big of a space as you would have liked it to be, but you do create some darkness surrounding Dash in particular.
Like that.
Yeah, I mean that works. I just know I had seen, court magicians and stuff do some weird stuff. So I didn't know if that was something that you had studied in your school or not. So,
No, not that one.
okay.
Why? Why do you think we would need darkness?
Well, I just thought it would be. I mean, I think that it could be really useful just because of some of the abilities that I've developed.
Mhm.
Like, it would make a cool like combination of abilities, maybe. Um, but I mean, that's something we can talk about later. But I know Endai likes to hide in the shadows too now, even more so apparently. Um, so I was trying to make him feel comfortable that in this tiny cave he could at least have, you know, some semblance of shadow to fall into.
That's true. Well, if we want him to disappear, I can just always turn him invisible.
Fair enough.
How long will your play be? I don't feel like our audience will
10 minutes.
they're not willing to suffer as an audience. And do we have a contingency if this doesn't work besides me on my own?
No.
So I think first of all, we do see if we can make the play work. I think we can keep it relatively brief, and we can read the audience and try to modify our performances as appropriate to keep them entertained. And if it all falls apart, we have enough people now. We can get one person to the top of each pillar to light the various fires that we need to get Alagarthas what he needs to get home. So I would say that would be a backup plan, especially because the bird creatures don't seem inclined to actually like attack in a really physical way. They just have been putting out the fires. So I think that would be our backup plan.
Okay. Sounds good.
Who here has a tinderbox?
I do.
So do I.
I do.
Amador looks up at you and just goes and like lights his little thumb flame.
Me too.
I'll pull out my 2 daggers and scrape them across each other and create sparks with it.
That's it.
Yep.
I can do this, and I make an illusion of a flame. Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Well, at least we have a backup plan.
I mean, if all else fails, like we can just give them this, and he like pulls out his rapier. They will stand no chance against our combined might.
How about
Yes.
you? Are you a fighter, Sven?
My fighter. And I'm just gonna pull my quarterstaff and twirl it around my fingers very dexterously, my arm and my elbow, just kind of like rolling it, and then put it back in. I'm a fighter.
no change of expression, being several feet taller than Fen.
Tough crowd. Want to say to the rest?
I lean over to Dash and I go, "Can you do that?"
I just like pull out my quarterstaff and I like kind of eyeball it a little bit, and I like do like the single flip over and put it back in.
I light applause. Very nice, very nice.
Thank you.
Pat in the
Thank
show.
Amador is like, all right, great. Are we going to do this in the morning? Are we doing the matinee performance? Are we waiting until tomorrow evening? Guess it doesn't really matter. It's always dark.
I'm gonna get some rest.
Juniper already aced her rehearsal. The rest of you can do what you will.
She looks at the rest of you and goes, nods her head.
I recommend those of us who have lines review them tonight just on the page. And if we want to practice in the morning on the way, we can. But otherwise, let's save the energy for the show.
I think it's fantastic. You guys have come up with a work of art. I am honored to be part of it.
Thank you.
Great. All right. I'm going to sleep. Good night, friends. He like pulls his little bedroll up next to the fire and lays down on it and closes his little eyes. Would the rest of you like to do anything before settling in for the evening?
I would like to practice my my new sleight of hand tricks.
Describe it to me.
So Indai has decided that he needs to hone his abilities instead of just passing out. So before he does, he'll take a little silver coin out of his bag or out of his pocket and start flipping it in his fingers, just back and forth, and then he'll just with manipulation and no illusion necessary, but just with the deftness of his fingers, makes it disappear. And then he'll go around to the rest of the group, just kind of like a little on the entertaining side. Use the magic to pull the coin out from various places, and then keep doing that until he's gone through each and every character.
I like that look that you gave me. I went in various places. Quote unquote.
There you go. Use your imagination.
That's what we do when we play D&D.
That's right.
Anyone else would like to do anything before retiring?
No, I think Dash is still doing his normal meditation, and then kind of not really meditating in the eyes closed kind of situation, but he's doing his normal observing, trying to watch everybody in their own rituals, trying to get an understanding, trying to just deepen his understanding of everybody, how they work. And when he starts seeing Indai going,
You got a new member as well.
Indeed. But then as soon as Indai starts walking around doing his practice, he's kind of like distracted every time. And he starts seeing him doing his coin tricks and stuff, and realizes that he's actually not able to like keep up with all of the movement, and starts getting like really frustrated with it because just it's there. He's not. He doesn't have magic. He's doing it, and by God, I have to be able to see it, and it's not working. And he's getting more and more frustrated, and he just kind of takes a breath, and then does. I think for the first time that in the everybody has seen it, there's just like a it's like a weird like half mask, like it's very similar to what you see when he's got his arms out and everything, but it's just like a little kind of a three-quarter, kind of over the nose, like a just a mask of kind of swirling sort of astral space, like just this weird twinkling flicker of energy, and all of a sudden, like, oh, there it is, and he like actually can see like everything that's like going on, and he's like, oh yeah, that's the thing. And then all of a sudden he's like looking high and like seeing out and realizes that he's seeing like everything, like even far out of the cave in like perfect clarity, as if there's no darkness, there's no nothing. It's just like peak day. It's the weirdest thing ever. And he's like, and then it just disappears. His brain just can't keep up with what he's actually seeing. And he just kind of like fizzes out. And then he's like, uh, just kind of lays over and falls asleep.
While you've got this little like astral sea mask in front of your face that's allowing your vision to kind of expand and take in the space around you, your sight is drawn a ways back to the chair, the throne that you had seen carved into the mountain. And as it kind of draws your attention, you see like a pulling of energy in a way. It's like the air itself is kind of changing and rippling as it's drawn into this throne, and you see kind of reality itself almost kind of shift and bend, and you're seeing these kind of flickers of purple and blue and pink with these bright points of light appearing and smearing as it's all kind of pulled into this chair before it all settles back down again, and a ripple of that vision washes across that chair before it settles back down to reflect the rest of the stone in its surroundings.
Nice. Yeah, and that just freaks him right the hell out.
All right, anyone else?
I'm gonna take out my little penny whistle flute thing and play quietly and stare into the fire for a little while.
Music fills the space around all of you for the first time since stepping into this land, and for once it is melodious. It's not discordant, it's not disharmonious, it's not these notes clanging against one another, but instead weaving together and creating this pretty little melody that fills the cave that you're in. Amrit?
I'm going to engage in my customary end of day reflection, and today I'm going to be thinking about Alagarthas. Probably not a huge surprise there. Thinking about someone who's been trapped in this place for well over a year now, and at this point we don't really know how long. And just thinking about what it would be like to spend that much time constantly engaged in a futile struggle to try to get somewhere. And at the same time that I'm reflecting on like what that would have been like, also thinking about the fact that he has just kept going. He has continued to endure. He hasn't given up, and that's something to really, really take note of, and something that think about. And especially now that we're at a place where like I'm also reflecting on scriptures and performances and past experiences that I've had with the church, just feeling just that kind of sense of connection and thinking about this is something where if I'm able to get back, thinking about all the different people that we've encountered who have found their own ways to endure where possible the different types of suffering that had inflicted on them. This is something where there's a lot here for us to be thinking about as a church and as an order. So just thinking on that, and selfishly just taking a bit of time to appreciate the music, doing my best to ignore Indai while he pulls a coin out of my various plays, and urging Taconite to go, and he's interested in having Spirit Mastiff curl up next to her to have a little of the evening.
Aww.
Beautiful.
And I will settle by the door for my customary sentry's rest. A little more thought than usual about orders, duty, and friendship.
When Echo goes to sit by the door, so Fenn's sitting like kind of near Fenn, just because she was interested to see if like his book came out or anything again. But once he starts playing music, will stand up and go walk over and sit next to Echo and say, Echo, can I ask you something?
Yes.
Well, I was thinking, you must be very excited that we're so close to getting your cylinder back.
Yes.
And I was thinking I heard you talking about your war earlier, and I was thinking about Alagarthas and how because he's been in the Feywild for a weird amount of time, but a lot of time has probably passed on the material plane. And I was wondering what would happen if you can't complete your mission, if you get back and maybe the war has ended for some reason.
I still have to find Graven or Lyndon.
Mm-hmm.
If the war has ended, hopefully they will have reunited.
And what if we've been here for so long that Graven or Lyndon, we can't find them anymore?
But that's the primary mission.
It is, but what if, just spitballing, it can't happen? What will happen to you?
Unknown.
Well, I'm sure that won't happen. But I just wanted to know, because I think that there's lots of missions you can go on, Echo. And I'm excited, and I'm sure that you'll find some wonderful ones once we're out of here.
And I think you and the others will help me with that.
Yes, I think we'll try and help you as much as we can.
Not having a primary mission would be uncomfortable, but You'll be willing to help me?
Yes, of course, Echo. You've helped us so much, and I think we're, as you say, friends. I'd like to help you with your primary mission or otherwise. And maybe you don't even need a mission. Maybe there can be one day where you can have no missions.
That would be an unusual mission.
Yes, a mission to have no missions would be very funny. But I know that you could tackle it better than anyone.
Thank you, Ree.
You're welcome.
And gives a really just awkward grin, smile, trying to appease. And still looking confused and stilted.
Ree will, I think, smile in a very similar way, like to be like, yeah, good, like I'll let you. I'll stop distracting you. I'm sorry. I'll let you keep your watch, and I'll go to a corner, the quietest corner I can find of the cave.
All right. You all settle in for the evening. The night and the darkness closes in on you, and you all find yourselves drifting off to sleep. And that's where we'll take our break. So let's take a few minutes to go do our things, and we'll come back in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Okay, my friends, we are back. So, you guys have just settled in for a night's sleep in the cave with Amador and Polynella and Alagarthas and Gleam. And you all settle in. The night passes uneventfully. You all wake up in the quote-unquote morning. So there is no sunrise. It remains completely dark outside with the occasional flash of lightning, but you all awakened, refreshed, renewed, ready to face the day ahead. What would you like to do, friends?
I would like to ask if there's a place to clean myself up. I think I'm dirty and have pink stuff all over me, and
That's true.
if there's a spell or something that can get
Would you
cast.
like to describe that to Finn as well, too? What you're
Okay.
referring to?
So, I ate a piece of candy. It didn't start there, but we'll just stick with that.
That's where we'll start.
I ate a piece of candy that started foaming pink stuff out of my mouth and all over myself and making myself sticky and gross. And
And you loved it.
and it was delicious. I tried to share, nobody wanted it, everybody was giving me a hard time about it, but in the end it was delicious. So, but now I'm sticky.
Okay.
Amador pops something goes, well, I don't really have a source of water, my friend. Not really sure where you could clean up.
I'll just be sticky then during this lovely
That
performance.
is really unfortunate. Maybe you could play it in as part of your character somehow.
Yes, Sivarax, the sticky evil.
Sivarax the Sticky. It is a very good title, yes.
All right.
I'm gonna
Reading the script, finding everybody's copies and making that edit.
Upon waking, I'm gonna get up and go through a series of methodical dance-like stretches.
Super flexy. Very impressive. You guys are all like, whoa, because y'all don't really do mornings. Y'all just kind of get up and eat and go.
Don't do mornings, don't do stretching.
I think I'd hurt myself if I did that.
I don't see the point.
Keeps you limber.
Keeps
Gets
you
you-
limber. What is the cue for Juniper? Freedom is ours. Okay, you got this, Juniper. And then Reed's gonna do the sparkle thing, and you're gonna be great.
She stands back up on her back legs.
Yes,
Holds her
just
front
like that.
paws together.
Freedom is
Claps down.
ours.
It gives you a little boof.
We're the best. You all have this performance to live up to. I've never seen a play, but I am fairly certain that she is the best at them.
He is regal.
Juniper gives a big nod of her head.
Okay, is everyone ready? Let's go.
I
Are
will
we going
follow.
first thing? We're doing it right now, first thing in the morning. Can I have some coffee first?
Go ahead.
Sure. You know, matinees, they don't really sell as well as evening performances.
Aren't we just performing for the one group?
Maybe they don't enjoy a matinee.
Did you schedule a time with them?
I don't know. It wasn't really part of the conversation. Was there a time that we were supposed to meet these folks?
No. They just told us to do a play. I agreed, and then I told them we'd be back.
Well,
Yeah, they
that
said
leaves
take
it
as long as
pretty
you
wide
need.
open.
In
Right?
general, I would encourage speed so that we can help Alagarthas as quickly as possible. That said, we want to make sure that we are performing well, so I understand if folks want to be ready for that.
So
But too much
What-
delay, I feel like, is unnecessary.
would it be a good idea to the while the play is going on, Alagarthas does not have a role in this play. While the play is going on, do you think that he could be lighting these beacons?
Alagarthas pops up in between you and he goes, yeah, I agree with this one. We should go as soon as possible. The faster we can get this done, the better. And I also agree that while you're performing, I should begin lighting the beacons.
So my only concern there is that we don't want to unduly upset our audience. And I do feel like if they start see the fires getting lit, that risks distraction from what we're doing and making it look like we're trying to put one over on them.
I also think that what we're doing is a distraction. So,
Can I ask what's maybe a stupid question and say, if the distraction isn't a good one, what's the contingency plan?
Apparently, it's me.
What's that?
I'm not. Are we sure that we can light these beacons at all?
I mean, we haven't tried. That is when we pick the column that we'll be performing this on, assuming that we'll be performing on one of the columns, we can try to have one of us that isn't Alagarthas try to light that to help set some atmosphere, to help establish if we can or not. if we can, and then things go wrong, I think we do have enough people here that we can get all 8 fires lit. Especially if our audience doesn't turn violent.
Where are these?
So maybe
Where are they? I don't even know where they are. You counting me in this?
Fan, you would actually realize what they're talking about because when
Okay.
you were approaching, the kind of peak that you were on allowed you to have a view down into that crater lake with the 8 columns rising
Ah.
around it.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Now I know. Gotcha.
Leah and I played a mini game.
Is there a beacon near the 8 columns? Because we could
If you'll
light
remember,
that
there
one
was a beacon on the top of each of the columns.
of each of the columns.
Mm-hmm.
And how
And there's
far
8 columns.
how like apart are all of them?
Oh. Maybe 60 feet.
Okay.
And they are massive. I mean, absolutely. Like I said last time, it's like climbing the Eiffel Tower.
Mm.
Or like the Spanish Steps. Like you're gonna be there for a while climbing.
Well, I wonder if we used the beacons as part of the show that they wouldn't want to stop it. What about that? If we use the beacons as lighting as a part of the show,
Again, I am concerned that risks making them see us as adversarial, and that's not where we want to start. We can get there if we need to.
Alagarthas will
They-
pop
they
up
gotta
and he'll
do the
say,
dark of it seems, to try to keep these fires from being lit and staying lit.
Alagarthas pops up and he says, he goes, look, how long do you expect this play to last? It takes a while to climb those stairs. I could at least start up the staircase.
Mhm.
I don't have to light it until we have their acknowledgement that they'll allow it. We'd at least begin making progress.
This makes sense to me. It's just I think we hold up on the lighting until we know how they respond.
I
We know how they've
agree.
responded to the play.
what if
We also have seeds that allow us to pass without a trace.
can we give
So-
some to Alagarthas?
Alagarthas, Gleam, and I. And Pollinella. Could inconspicuously try some things.
I like this plan. Good plan.
Just make sure they're facing away from the beacons.
So we'll want to pick one that's on kind of the edge and stage it so that as they're watching us, they can't see the rest as easily.
Yes.
And Echo, I think it makes sense to try to get you onto the most centrally located of the columns to the best that we can. That way, if things do go badly, if you can get yours lit, you can hopefully maybe light some of your arrows, and faster than we can climb up and down, maybe try to get some of the other pieces lit just to help spread the birds around.
I will comply.
I'm interested in your thoughts on this. I am no particular strategist. This is not really my bailiwick.
I was planning to propose something similar.
Okay. No, Alagarthas is the elf prince. Amador is the dandelion.
Oops.
That's okay. That's all right. That's what I exist for.
So, do you believe we can do this? What is your role in this, Indi, besides writing it with
I'm
the others?
Sybarex.
Ah,
Besides
how
putting the
many
whole thing
characters
together.
are in this?
4
5,
characters and a narrator, if I've followed this correctly.
including the narrator. 5. Well, yes, 5.
Ben as Greytooth, Indi as Sybarex, Amador as Livim, myself as Iswald, and then Dash as the narrator.
That's right.
As well as,
And-
of course, Juniper as Ilmater. So really 6 characters, including the narrator.
I put it all here in the programs I made, and I hand out like bird-sized, like this big programs that have the cast list listed out and a drawing of Juniper as a god on them.
They're like- I would think that they were like cut out in shapes, like certain shapes, and given to each person.
Yes, yeah, but they're bird-sized, teeny tiny.
And it's all our friends here. They have roles as well in the play, or
Amador does. He's going to hit Amric with a stick.
yeah, recall that.
If Gleam
Amador
agrees,
Big
she
stick.
can try to light some beacons.
And
She's
so
as
there
eager
would
to
be-
find her sister as we are.
So
Gleam
you
just
and
kind
the
of tilts her head at you and gives you a nod.
and you're helping to light them as well, are you?
I may
to
be playing a
Alagarthas.
pivotal role with my bow.
Sorry,
Unless
to
you have a...
to Alagarthas.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna go light one of the beacons as well, or at least start making my way up there.
All right.
Making my
If
way up, Colin.
so,
Walking fast.
Okay, let's go.
okay.
I suggest that you go and prepare a stage to make sure that they are in the location we want them to be. Do you require any of my fancy clothes?
Fancy clothes.
We
Yeah,
were
fancy-
gifted fancy clothes by the Soggy Court. This was before I did my best acting and played dead.
That's right. What a powerful role it was.
I am the only one here with experience, it seems.
And yet you're not the starring role. You're the only one with experience, and this whole here scheme rests upon us sufficiently distracting this lot.
I am hoping if it goes poorly, it is like a carriage wreck and that no one can look away.
I promise everyone will be distracted.
Yeah,
And
they do.
again,
Myself.
the goal is not subterfuge first. Our goal is to try to put on a good enough performance that we entertain the bird creatures enough that we have an amicable solution to this. Subterfuge is what follows as our backup plan.
Yes, so
That's
I
right.
enter them with it being good, or I think with this group, there could also be a so bad it's good angle. I think they'd also be thoroughly entertained by laughing at us and not with us.
And it's bards we're playing for.
Yes,
They're
who-
mummers. They're mummers. Let's not give them too much credit, okay? their whole claim to fame is a farce. All right, let's.
And
Well,
they're bird-like.
Bird like. Are
Yes.
they big birds?
Yes.
How big? And you're much bigger than me.
They're larger than you.
But so far they've displayed no real attempt at true violence. They've been a source of frustration, but not fighting.
You know, I came here this far. I'm just gonna trust you. Let's go do this thing, eh?
Trust the process. Come on, guys. Let's go.
Awesome.
And I.
All right. You all make your way out of the cave where you have spent the night into another dark sky lit only by streaks of lightning as they slam into various mountaintops around you. And you follow the familiar path back to the crater lake, where you see these large creatures streaking through the sky in amongst the columns of stone that surround the lake. What would you like to do?
I think the whole way walking that way, I think Dash is like standing at the very back of the group, like just fully like head in the script, just like going over everything in his head, and he's just like, Iswald, 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 just kind of like playing every kind of different thing in his head, and like is just completely up to the top of his intelligence, just trying to like be in the moment and trying to work with what he's got, because he is not a
love it.
performer. He is-
You're doing great, Dash.
Yes,
Let's
now.
let's keep up. You're falling behind. Reed,
Right.
you were the one that talked to them first, right?
Yes, that's true. But I think I'd first like to find our best stage, the best place for our stage. So can I like look around the area for a place like we described where like the audience wouldn't be able to see the beacons?
Are
Behind-
you looking to be like down on the ground on the shores of the lake, or are you looking to be up on top of one of the columns?
Oh,
I recommend we pick one of the columns kind of at an edge and set up one side of it as our stage so that they have to be looking at us and away from all the rest of the columns.
yes.
But
Perfect.
that way, if we do need to go to our fallback plan, we already are near one of the columns, and we can do a test lighting of that to see if one of us other than Alagarthas can light that fire.
Or be the last fire that he lights.
Call it ambiance.
That's the big finish.
All right, you all make your way up one of the columns.
Yes.
Okay, so
I
I've
suggest
got
Alagarthas, Gleam, and I don't join them.
And right?
Without a trace.
I'm sorry, what was that, Amrik?
And Pollinella, right?
Oh, and Pollinella.
Palamella, yes.
Just
Off my bracelet.
as you're preparing for your show to make sure we are not in sight and therefore out of thought.
My apologies.
Also, before we start climbing the column, having seen Dash reviewing the script and appreciating his dedication, I'm going to check to see if we can set things up. We've got our speaking stones, right?
I have one.
All right.
Did we ever get the second one back from Will of the Feywild?
You did not get your second stone back from Will of the Feywild.
Echo, can I call him?
No.
I want to see how he's doing. He was really upset last time we talked to him.
It's now the time for that. I'm getting
Yeah.
a little nervous.
Later.
All right. So in the absence of that, Reed, do you have a way to whisper to Dash with line prompts as needed, or any of the rest of us if we're struggling with our lines?
Oh, yes. I was planning to be on book and I would message you if you needed anything.
Excellent. Thank you.
On book.
Visibly,
Really
visibly wiping sweat from their forehead. Very relieved. Not at all prepared. Very obvious they were not prepared for this.
Oh, I love it. All right. After a while of climbing, you all, well, Endai, Omric, Ree, Finn, and Dash, you find your way to the top of one of these columns. You're setting up your stage. What are you doing to set up a stage?
Well, first the we need to speak with the birds, yes?
Yeah, sure. I'll call out to the birds. I'll say, Greyhawk Mummers, hello, we're back.
It takes you a moment to catch one of their attention, but one of them eventually comes whirling about the column and lands on the brazier in front of you. And it says, you return. Do you have a play for us?
Yes, we do. We have an original work by our playwright and I that we will be performing for you. We just need to set up a play and set up a stage. And is there a place for a dressing room for the actors?
No.
All right. Okay. Well, we'll make do. Um, well, give us a few minutes to get set up, and then you can join us, and I'll in the audience, and I'll like gesture to where the good spot is that's facing away from the lake and the beacons, to that, and that will be where our stage is.
All right. While you were setting up your stage, Echo, down at the bottom of one of the columns, you stand with Alagarthas and Gleam, and he turns to you and he goes, I suggest we'll take the boat and go straight across the lake to get to the one furthest away behind them.
How about these seeds? I kept all 6 of them.
We will wait until they're distracted, then we'll have a seed, and then we'll set off.
Very well, I will follow.
Excellent. You guys settle in to wait for all of the birds to gather at the top of this column, and a few minutes pass and they all begin to flock around and crowd around you. And Fen, you see these absolutely massive gray birds with antlers coming through the top of their head, and they have these bright yellow kind of eyes with these hissing voices through their beaks. And they are all kind of what languages do you speak?
I speak Elvish, Gnomish, Sylvan, Infernal, and Common.
Beautiful. You understand that they are, and Ree understands as well that they are very
understand.
much. You're not up there. But they are very much expecting an absolute train wreck of a show. They are insulting talent and your sizes and what you're wearing. And I mean, just basically everything they can pick apart, they are absolutely picking apart amongst themselves. But a few minutes past, you all managed to get your stage set. I'll turn it over to you.
We should have taken those costumes. Maybe
should
that
have.
had helped.
Yeah. Does it sound like in their pestering and they're picking apart that they're like that they would enjoy seeing us be a train wreck?
You can make an insight check.
Okay. Well, that's not a
Wow.
good and it becomes oh wow, an 11. I rolled a 5. I have a +6 to insight.
Nice. An 11. I mean, they're kind of hard to read. So you're not exactly sure if they will like it or be incredibly insulted by it.
Okay. Well, I think it will either go really good or really bad. These don't seem like the people who have middling opinions.
All right.
I'll try my best to dazzle them with special effects too.
And as a contingency, are we just planning to kick their arses if this goes, wrong?
Yeah, I think that's like the under the contingency under the contingency. I think we all have an understanding about that if it happens.
I think we can take Statler and Waldorf up there.
I'm not familiar with that reference, but based on context, I think I understand. Again, I do not recommend violence. If we're gonna
No, me either. I wink at Ben.
If I have to, I will.
All right, friends, before you launch into your play, I've enjoyed your out of game character chat so much that I would like to award each of you with a DM inspiration dice, my friends. It's a d6 to use at your pleasure.
Yay.
Hey.
Thank you, DM.
Thank you.
Yes. I told you. Do cool shit in the character chat and with your downtime activities, and I'll give you the things, and this is just the beginning.
Oh no.
Yes.
I wrote that wrong.
I need that.
All right.
The terrible rolls I've been making.
Would you guys like to begin your play?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
No day
Set the
but
scene
today.
for me.
Okay. I and Bree and Finn are all hiding behind a rock so that the bird thespians can't see us. And Dash will step up and introduce the beginning. Dash, do you have the lines?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
I say we just start. And I can psychic whispers as well if I need to.
Yeah, so Dash will walk out. He kind of just looks at everybody and he's like,
It's a muffled applause, feathered wings as you appear.
Brent, Audi,
Ladies and gentlemen.
what?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Starting to
Are there
murmur
ladies?
amongst themselves.
Are there ladies?
Just say, ladies and gentlemen,
Or distinguished guests.
or distinguished guests.
Fucking hell, say something.
Distinguished guests. We bring to you today a story of suffering and not suffering
Friendship.
and um uh and victory and triumph over evil.
And I'll be like, yeah!
There's just like some.
Isvald,
Also, a golden clap with feathers, I'm pretty sure is totally inaudible. So extra shade points for that.
We will
So Dash-
minor illusion, like a smattering of applause with them. The sound of it. They're like,
Dash
oh.
is totally oblivious to where the source of the applause comes from. He's just emboldened. Isvald, a man fearlessly journeying into the unknown, chosen by destiny, he embarks on this mission of liberation, tasked to free these goblins, victims of the heinous sorcerer Sivarax the Sticky's schemes. His motivation is fortified by every step he takes.
At which point I have been walking onto the stage, and here I pause to pose and try to prominently display the amulet around my neck so that Ree, our effectrix, can give it its gleam.
Yes, I minor illusion, like a spotlight onto the amulet, just a clean, crisp circle on the amulet.
And the night before, I did take the really cool clothes from Echo, the one with the very high collar, and it's high and purple and evil looking, and I came out with my horn and my pink mess when he said Sivarax.
So I strut to the opposite end of the stage so they can see Sivarax in one place and me at the other. And then, very dramatically, I crouch low and say, "Stay low, stay silent." Speaking here as if to myself. These walls house not just goblins, but the echoes of Sivarax the Sticky's tyranny.
Iswald, as silent as the night, yet as resolute as the sunlight pushing through the storm, he enters the forsaken town, his heart echoing with the urge to end the torment. Heavily wrapped in destiny and the whispers of an ancient amulet,
I lift the amulet around my neck and consider it. Sit down and say, "This for you, humble creatures. Freedom is near." Then at this point, crossing the stage and stepping backwards as if falling into shadow. In the darkness resides light, a spark waiting to be ignited. Fear not, for Sivarax's reign is nearing its end. Hold on to hope.
Meanwhile, we're rowing the boat.
Yes. Alagarthas and you and Gleam. Gleam is not rowing. She is sitting kind of in the center, but the two of you work together to cross the lake as quietly as possible. We can make stealth checks. Make stealth check? Let's make stealth check.
Does the lake count as my favored terrain?
Yeah, you're in the mountains.
We can move stealthily at a normal pace. Oh, I can't when I'm alone. but we can stealth.
I got a 26. With our pass without a trace, which gives us a +10.
So I 25.
We soundlessly cross the lake, barely a splash of our oars against the water. Back to the top of the column. I think
The
it's
show
on
must go
Ash.
on.
As Almric fades away as Iswald, she cuts the light out on the amulet and then makes like tiny little like the tiniest dancing lights to look like teeny tiny bits of candlelight across the stage for scene 2.
Through the shroud of inky blackness, a beacon of hope illuminates the shadows. Iswald, the unsuspecting savior, moves with a stealthy courage. In times of despair, heroes rise. Iswald, following the light of bravery and cleverness, inches towards freeing
Greytooth.
Greytooth, the leader who once roared courage, now silenced by Sivarax's spell.
So I'm looking for Fen to emerge as Greytooth to give me someone to walk towards.
Ah,
I pushed
He
it out.
he stumbles onto the stage, kind of looks around, panicked, makes eye contact with Omric, shrugs
Hold
a little
fast,
bit.
Greytooth. Your chains of caste are about to break. And again, lifting up the amulet to make it easily illuminated.
All the lights converge, like come together and shine straight down on that one, the amulet.
I have shattered your shackles, Greytooth. Rise!
And following Omric's cue, very much overacting his role. I have a line. I thank you. You have given me back my freedom.
Recast Thunderclap, like centered on Ben as he said that, like as the things break, so there's a little ripple through the audience.
All the birds, their feathers kind of like ripple back from them, and they're like, ooh.
All right, fade out, guys. Fade out.
Yeah, goes to the next light cue and makes a little fire, a tiny fire.
I'm going to go and crouch down next to it and beckon over Greytooth with over-exaggerated, stealthiness.
Yeah,
unquote.
yep. Makes their way.
We can't let Sivarax continue to oppress these people. We need a plan, Greytooth.
Bound by shared ambitions, the unlikely duo start weaving the threads of rebellion into a grand plan.
I've been around Sivarax long enough to know his routines, but we'll need more than that. We'll need a distraction.
A large, obvious nod from me. Aye, a distraction. And I think I know just what Severax will need. Torture, pain, suffering. That's what Severax enjoys the most.
At that point, Echo, you and Alagarthas have arrived at the bottom of the columns as far away, and he was like, okay, I'll take this one. Gleam, you do that one. Echo, that one. We'll meet at the top.
Very well. I will comply.
Be careful
Do
on
you
the
have
stairs.
flame?
I do.
Do you have flame, Glimmer? Gleam?
Looks at you and her tits. She just nods.
Very well. And Pollinella, you're with me.
She comes buzzing up next to your head. Kind of gives you a little wiggle. And takes off just straight up the call.
Very well. And the trudge begins.
Back to the show.
So here I'm waiting for Severax.
So I'll jump on the stage with just like I came from nothing into something and slivered up onto the stage and stand there.
Amador jumps out next to you, and he's drawn a mustache on his dandelion face with the big curly cues at the end of it.
And then
as if with the audacity of an avenging angel, I jump forward towards Severax and Livum. Severax, your days of tyranny are numbered.
As per the daring plan, Iswald takes on the mantle of a decoy, baiting the proud sorcerer, inviting danger to direct the attention away.
Amador gives a ha ha ha, and he pulls out that big, massive 10-foot stick.
Remake the laugh echo and like reverberate.
You wish for pain. Let's see how long you can hold your tongue. And the comes swinging at you with the stick. Bah! And it does a back. Bah! It will crack and he will laugh. And he's like getting just a little too much into it, like laughing and swinging the stick at you again and again. Like starting to sting a little bit.
Every time he does it, I do a thunderclap effect. Every time he like hits.
It's hard to keep up. It's in a little bit quicker than you can cast it. Every 6 seconds.
Every time he hits me, I'm trying to act as if I've been struck like 5 times in a row, but because he's hitting me so fast, it just like.
I'm just standing there watching the whole thing ensue, just being like, yes, yeah. I did that, rubbing my chin.
Yeah, dashes off over on the side, like looking at it, just like enraptured by what's going on. He's like, it's just like,
Echo assumes everything is going very poorly.
Alagarthas is too.
You got your next lines. Dash, it's your turn.
Yeah, messages Dash and is like, please move on. I don't think Amra can take much more of this.
Okay. Despite the relentless and brutal assault, Iswald steadfastly continues to endure, with each strike of the quint stick leading with the weight of 5. Sorry, let me take that again. The quint stick landing with the weight of 5.
And Greytooth, Fen, as Greytooth is going to come sidling up to the side and doesn't really still understand what's happening and is pretending to do some magic.
I make like a little bit of something appear in Fen's hands.
You gotta
A
make
little
the
sparkle.
amulet go crazy. Make the amulet go crazy.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I shift it from Fen's hands to the amulet and start like, I don't know, making it like giving it like multicolored sparks.
And encouraged by this, freedom is ours! Ours!
And then Ree will make the amulet glow gold and try her very best with minor illusion to make the glow as gold as possible, but it really just kind of only looks like she has like a flashlight pointed on it. A big flashlight though.
All right, guys. Next, Juniper's up. She's got to be Ilmater.
Juniper looks at you, she's like, oof. And she like kind of waddles out and like looks about for a second and then stands up on her back legs and holds her little paws together.
Spread your wings.
Oh, wings fly out. Man.
Good girl. You're gonna get so many treats.
And tongue lolls out the side of her mouth.
Not yet. Ilmater.
Oh.
And throughout all this, I'm going to like look over my shoulder and gaze at Juniper as Ilmater adoringly.
Marie, make her glow. She's got glitter and glow.
I make her glow, and I also minor illusion the like an angel chorus sound of just like ah.
And then I'll use my amulet and make the sky like completely look like a Michelangelo Sistine Chapel kind of setup. And just for good effect with the glow and everything. I think it'll be
I've
great.
seen that.
Oh. I will see it soon in May.
Juniper holds a little finger on her paw out and touches Omric with it.
And just for a little bit of extra oomph, even though it does not do anything functionally, I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on myself, which causes a shimmering field to appear and surround me. Grants me a +2 bonus for armor class for the duration, for whatever the heck good that's going to do in this particular moment, but I'm just doing it for the effect more than anything else. Your reign of terror ends today, Syverax. And I take a step forward, locking sight with Indai as Syverax. And
I'll draw both of my daggers, and just hold them out and start swinging fakely at Omric and like barely grazing his +2 armor.
And I will at this point unholster my warhammer and I won't even like pretend like I'm actually hitting Indai very much. I'm just like waving it around dramatically and occasionally like trying to like get it in the way of the daggers just to make a particularly like loud implying an appearance of battle, even though it's not actually in like a functional hit.
It's okay, Amr. Just give it to me, man. Just land one.
All right.
Come on.
And so I just swing, and then so
Come
I'm
on.
gonna do like an underhand swing to like clock him under the chin.
Gotta roll to hit.
Yeah, roll to hit.
All right. That's a 10 to hit.
Oh shit.
With advantage, though?
Yeah,
I didn't
roll
use
to
my inspiration
yeah,
on this one.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, if Indi's helping him,
Yeah. I mean, if he's not trying to avoid it, it can just
No.
hit.
It can hit.
fair.
All right, what's my damage? This is gonna hurt.
Smite
4.
him. Smite him.
4.
All right, so yeah, so I'm going to do a 4 bludgeoning, and just for extra effects, I am going to do my divine smite because I know I can help him out afterward. So that allows me to expend 1 spell slot to deal 2d8 extra radiant damage.
Knock him out.
It was just 4 of bludgeoning, and so 2d8 radiant. It's an additional 12.
Oh. Okay.
16.
I just like, even though I'm not completely knocked out, I just fall down.
Reed genuinely gasps really loud.
And I kneel down and place my hand on his chest with my Warhammer raised high, and immediately do my lay on hands pool to like transfer the 16 hit points that he needs to bring him back up.
I clearly have a massive bruise on my eye, like right over my right eye, and it's just completely covering my eye.
All right, so in that case for that, I'm gonna do a 15 point heal. You're gonna be down 1 hit point, but just enough to leave you the black eye for effect.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Echo's got a hand above their eyes, just like, that looks like magic. I don't know if that's good or bad. Nobody's talked to me yet, so I'm gonna keep with this mission.
Yeah, you see Alagarthas on the other top of the other column, 30 or so feet away from you, and he's just standing there, like leaned up against the brazier.
Echo just muttering to Pollinella, like, what are they doing? I'm not there to supervise. They don't. I hope they can stay on mission. I hope Juniper can keep them in line. I just
Pollinella just
trails
goes,
off into muttering.
"Zzz."
Nice.
Dash is like completely like totally nervous now because he's like, after seeing that impact and seeing like actual pain on the dance floor, he just like starts pacing like back and forth. In his head, he's just like, okay, they got this, it's fine. Armor can take care of it, it's fine. But he's just pacing back and forth. He's like,
You see the bird's
Ilmater's-
heads turning like tennis.
Ilmater's divine intervention empowers Iswald. Clearly, he rises from despair, faces his foe, determined to end the cruelty Sivarax imposed on the innocent goblin town.
And so now, feeling a little bit bad about the amount of actual damage I did, I'm going to just do fake hits with a couple more wails of the hammer.
Ah. Ow. My eye.
Here ends your fear. The goblin town is free.
Reed, you gotta do something.
Yeah, no, I do a big I'll I will genuinely use a spell slot and cast like shatter to make, I don't know, like some nearby rocks like explode with freedom.
Explode
Yeah.
with freedom.
Yeah, Dash is still
America.
pacing back and forth in front, but he's doing like the whole, like the from oh what gosh, what was the name of the movie? Um, he's just pacing back and forth and doing like the whole like trying to amp up the crowd, you know. Just,
Yeah, hype man.
yeah.
All right.
Paul Bettany as Geoffrey Chaucer.
Yes, that is exactly what was in my head. Yeah.
Yep.
At the end of your production, I would like each of you to make a performance check, please.
No.
Okay.
3, 5, one last if she minor illusions, raucous applause. Just a hope.
Because we've been helping each other, are we able to do this with advantage?
Nope.
No.
All right.
I rolled a
Everybody
24.
each makes one. 24.
Can I have cast
Next one,
and
what?
throughout the play have cast enhance ability on at least 2 people, I think?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give it. Does anybody feel in particular like they need advantage on charisma checks?
Uh,
I give it to Dash and Amrex.
Fen, what was your performance check?
Natural one.
Oh no. Counts for 2 fails.
well, my best was an 8.
Should I roll
8.
for Juniper?
Yes, you can. With advantage, just choose the best.
He really was glittering and glowing. You did such a
Yeah.
good job, Reed.
Ree, what was yours? 18?
Yes.
Amrik?
18, and I am going to use my inspiration to give myself an extra d6 on that,
Nice.
which takes me up to 22.
22. I forgot to. Oh no, Leah, you got a nat 1. You can't do it. Dash, you could add yours. Your DM inspiration.
Well, at the best it could put me up to a 14, so I don't know if it's
I mean,
worth burning it. All
That
right,
was-
it's there to be used. So
You're not going to believe it, but Juniper got a nat 20.
yes,
Oh.
she
Of
Of course
did.
she did.
okay, so I got a 1 on the inspiration dice, so that's a total of 9.
9. All right. Well,
Respectable 9.
fortunately, you all step forward from the darkness to the edge of the stage to take your curtain call. Ree's raucous applause rips out from amongst the birds, and they all kind of begrudgingly begin to clap their hands, and they are shockingly not insulting any of you. And there's applause, and it keeps continuing for a little while. And after a few moments, it starts to settle back down. And the bird looks down at you, Ree, since it's had the most communication with you. And it goes, "Yes, well done. We will allow your friend passage home."
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yay!
Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Can't believe that worked.
I know. That's the first
It
time I've done
launches
anything.
itself up into the air and into the darkness.
Do your plans usually work out like this? I didn't get the impression they did.
No, this is one of the better ones that worked well. Typically, we have to go with the contingency.
We'll see.
I guess we should let Echo and Alagarthas know that they can light those beacons.
Can you shoot him a text?
A what?
Oh, a quick message,
Oh.
magical.
Oh yeah, I'll see it. Can I reach? Are they close enough for me to reach?
What's your reach?
I don't. Let me see if I can get it up. I only have screenshots. I think it's like 120 feet.
That's what I thought I heard last time.
Yeah,
What was in my brain? What's
it
it called?
is. It is a message. It's 120 feet.
Yeah, 120 feet. To be right on the edge, but it is there.
Okay. I stand dangerously close to the edge and really quickly message Echo. We did it. You can light the beacons. And then immediately step back.
I'm just gonna light mine. Hope the others are watching for it. I guess they're not that far.
Yeah.
We're good. We're good, I guess.
We can have. I can't do it, but maybe we could light our beacon as well to show everyone that it's okay and they won't put it out.
If I can bust out the old tinderbox and light our beacon.
Okay. You all surround the brazier at the top of this column, Omric striking at his tinderbox to bring it alight. And across the way from you, there is one light, and then another light, and then another light. And that's where we'll end for this evening, my friends. You accomplished a mission!
Yay!
Did
Crossed
thank
it off the list.
goodness. Thank
Oh,
Ilmater.
Thanks, Juniper.
Mhm.
Oh ye of little faith.
I feel like Juniper's gonna have some a few issues soon.
Because she's a diva.
Yeah.
He's gonna start demanding way more hat snacks.
Yeah, I think so.
She has earned them.
Oh, she
The
has
queen.
earned them. She's the bestest of owlbears. Leah, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
My
Yeah.
We'll have
Yeah.
to see if we
Yeah.
can't
Thank
get you
you.
back here next time to finish up your little tale or continue your little tale with the Undeciders. So we will say goodnight. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. So don't forget to like and subscribe and rate and comment. You can find us here and on Facebook and on Twitter and on Discord. There's so many ways to find us. So go find us and listen because we're awesome. So, all right, we'll say goodnight. Hello, future me. All right, everybody say bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.